Hey, what's up guys? Dorian here from HT Muscle. We're here today at the Pure Athletic Club in Barrie. And today is going to be an arm day. It's a little bit of a modified week this week. Usually I do arms on Saturday. Today's Wednesday because I'm leaving on Friday to go to Tampa because I have Morgan and Justin competing the Tampa Pro. And there's also some HT Muscle athletes competing there as well, like Quentin, Justin too. So there's a whole bunch of athletes competing in Tampa. It looks like it's going to be a really, really good show. So today we're doing some arms. I like to superset arms. I don't think I've done an arm video for a long time. The reason why I like supersetting, because for me with arms, I really like isolating the arms and feeling a really good contraction and getting a really good pump. So I'm just starting here with some push downs and I superset that with the dumbbell curl. I usually keep the rep ranges with my push downs a little bit higher. I have some injuries. I have like a tear in my tricep tendon that I did like a long time ago. I have to be careful with what exercises I'm doing. Like, you know, when I was younger, I like to do skull crushers. That was one of my favorite exercises for building big blown out triceps. But now I have to stick to more cables and other exercises, which is okay, which, you know, I'm still happy to be training. I usually do about 15 reps with this weight and focus on just getting good contraction and good pump. I make sure I don't swing the weight, you know, the entire rep, I'm pressing through. I'm understanding where that cable's going. It's actually going down and then I'm pulling slightly back towards my waist here. And I'm trying to fully extend the tricep to get a full contraction. And on the way up, I'm letting it stretch. When I get to the top, almost like when I'm here, I'm almost flexing my bicep to get the biggest stretch possible in that tricep. And then drive through, never using momentum. I'll do 15 reps, 13, 14, 15. I'm gonna superset this with a dumbbell curl. So I've already done 2 warm-ups. So usually what I'll do is like 2 fuel sets and then I'll do 2 harder sets. So this is one of my harder sets. With biceps, I don't tend to go very heavy, like 35s. If I control the weight and use proper form, I should fail around 12 reps. And I'll switch it up. I'll start with double-handed. I'll do half the reps like this, do 6 like this, and then I'll break it to doing 1 at a time. Really getting a good stretch here, controlling it, letting it open up, pushing forward, and then driving up in a big semicircle. And that's 12 reps each arm. So I'll go a little bit heavier here on this set, but I never go too heavy on arms. I just feel like they respond a lot better to just getting a good contraction, a good pump. If I go too heavy because of like past injuries of my tricep tendon, it'll just get aggravated and flare up. And then it'll affect me. I won't be able to do chest properly or other body parts. So just really focus on the pump. Oh man. Sometimes on my last set, if I got 10 reps each arm there, and I feel like I could do more, but it's just because my biceps got so pumped, I feel like I had to stop. So I'll just put it down for a couple seconds and just pump out some more reps. I'm gonna do the Unilateral curls. This is one of my favorite preacher curls. It's unilateral. It's got a nice chest pad here, so you really pull your body away, really isolate the bicep. And it has great tension. Like this machine, it's on this like Kevlar belt system. It feels really smooth, but as you get in length, where I feel like a lot of people actually like skip or like don't pay attention to it in a bicep curl, right? But a lot of people, when they get in length, which is down here, they don't even allow themselves to get there. You know, everyone starts here, ends here, goes to here, where this is such a great range to be in to fully lengthen the bicep and understand, like, I'm in full length now, it's opened up and stretched. Now I'm going to contract and close in the bicep. So this machine's really great for that because it puts a lot of tension when you get in length. Important when you're curling is with your wrist. Make sure that whatever you're grabbing, it's in line with your wrist and you don't end up like curling it like this and using your forearm to curl that weight up. You know, sometimes I'll actually even, to change the stress on the bicep, if I was holding a machine or a dumbbell, I might even hold it like this and it really changes it. But one thing I don't do, or I try not to do, is curl like this. You know, always straight or slightly even opened up even more. It's a great machine. Really opens up the tricep. I think about reaching back behind me, not allowing it just pull behind, like not allowing it pulled down, but almost like a big semicircle. It's pulling circular behind me, almost away from my head. And then I'm extending up and then pointing almost towards the mirror in front of me, like I'm throwing it to get full extension. The nice thing about this machine at the back, you can actually adjust it. So the depth, depending on the person, you can pull the seat away from you. So like I was saying, you don't want it to pull like straight down behind your head. I want it to pull like semicircle, get distance. I mean, Adam, come here. So like this is an example. I just don't have the flexibility to show you. But like when you're doing the exercise, put your arm up. A lot of people will drop completely to their head. Their elbow goes forward and they end up doing this, where we want his arm to stay here and we want this to reach that way. So like the distance between his hand and his shoulder, right? So it's a big semicircle and he's throwing around and he's not just dropping down like this. You know, if he drops down like this, his wrist is really close to his shoulder now. That makes sense? I think so. Right? So like you're reaching behind you. Yes. Right, Adam? You're trying to get like far behind you and not just drop it down to like touch your neck. Good. And then you're throwing it towards the mirror, a big semicircle. Good. Keeping those elbows tucked. Good. 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 Like I'm doing a skull crusher.
Yeah.
A lot of people will start here, right? Instead of dropping behind their head semicircle, they'll drop to their forehead, but their elbow will come here and they'll drop like this and they'll shoot like this. They'll drop like this and shoot like this. You want this to stay here and you want to reach behind, right? Big semicircle. I mean, people do it with push downs too, right? They'll.
You described it like a roller coaster last time.
The track, riding the track.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I guess a good cue whenever you're doing something like this is the forearm is the only thing moving. This stays put. This stays fixed. And this rolls around it, semicircle. But this piece of the arm always stays fixed. Whenever my arms are like up in this position, it puts a lot of sort of stress where I have the tear in my tricep tendon. So I just gotta go lighter and be more controlled. Oh, man, that burns. Jeez. Oh. So in this version, all you're gonna do is I like to just remove any attachment, any carabiner. The Nautilus free motion machines have this nice nub, which is actually quite comfortable to grab. I'll just grab it between my fingers like so, and I'll cross them, and then I'll set my arms at my sides and they will not move. And I'll allow it to follow the path of this cable. And almost as if this cable is a part of my forearm, I'm gonna fully extend the tricep. Make your biceps appear thicker from the front. So if you were looking at me right now, standing like this is gonna thicken up the bicep to make it look really thick from the front angle. It's also gonna tie into your forearm, so it ties into this piece here, like this, and it'll develop there too. So I really wanna make sure I control it, on the negative on this. I feel like the brachialis really respond well to a lot of control. And my wrist deviation is never like this. I'm always up like here. Never allow it to be like loose like this. Either straight, or I like to actually deviate here. Oh. Something simple too is like you guys can always change. Like you can do this exercise and you can change the amount of isolation it's putting on the muscle in different areas. If I were to be here in this exercise and take a step in, it's now gonna pull more on my upper tricep. And you get a lot more tension when I'm in stretch. If I were to back up, there'd be a lot less in full stretch because I can't get in full stretch. Literally it's here, right? But when I push back, now this cable has to go back that way and it's gonna put a lot more isolation on like, you know, the lower tricep. So you can change that. You might like even already make that manipulation without even knowing. You're just like changing the direction of the cable. Some people stay right over it and you'll see them like this on it because they like that feeling of the weight pulling straight up and that stretch in the tricep. Some people might so this cable, if I was doing a push down, you know, if I'm right over it, it's really pulling up. But now if I were to take a step over here and live here, look at the direction of the cable. It's not pulling straight up. It's actually gonna go that way. So you can kind of make that change with any attachment, anytime you're using a cable. So I'll switch it up, go I feel. If I go a little heavier, I tend to maybe not do as many reps double hand. I'll break it into one at a time. But I'll still try and do 6 here with these. Oh, burns, that burns, that burns, that burns. Come here, I feel like I gotta clarify something. So if I'm right over top of this and this cable is pulling directly up, you can see how much more tension there is on this upper range. And in this upper range, this is primarily working that upper portion of the tricep that's right below the rear delt. Now, if I step back, what happens? Look where my hand is now to have tension. Before it was a couple inches higher, right? Look how much higher I just got. So when I step over here, it's kind of dead up here. There's not much weight anymore. It's changed the direction of pull. But now what's happening is, instead of that cable going completely up and down vertically, right? Now that cable is pulling on a different degree, 45 degree. So now I'm pushing down, but that cable wants to go 45 degrees and almost like wants to go right to my knees. So I'm pushing back, which is gonna put a lot more isolation on the lockout portion of this exercise, which is that lower portion I was talking about. Whoa, what's going on here? Cottage cheese.
All right, guys.